I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and we saw the Samsung Galaxy Nexus a couple of weeks ago as an unlocked device. If you remember, we did the coverage of the GSM version, but now the Verizon version is in the house. Here's a Samsung Galaxy Nexus on Verizon, and this sucker packs 4G LTE connectivity, but the specs are pretty similar. 1.2 gigahertz dual-core TI OMAP processor, a 5 megapixel camera, 4.65-inch True HD, 720p display, 1080p HD video recording, and of course, Android 4.0 or Ice Cream Sandwich is available now at Verizon for $299.99. It goes up against the Resound and the Droid Razr as part of Verizon's holiday lineup. Is this the ultimate Android smartphone? Should you switch from Sprint, AT&T, or T-Mobile to get this? Or if you're on Verizon, should you go with this? We're going to find out in the review. But first, some love to Best Buy Mobile because they hook us up with a ton of phones for use in our one-pop bandit game, just like the Galaxy Nexus. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They'll help you set up. See down here, I'm going to come in close. See how you can see all those icons, things like that? They'll help you set that up at Best Buy Mobile. You'll walk out working. It's Galaxy Nexus time. Is this into part two we go. Let's start with the camera. Got a 5 megapixel shooter on this bad boy. Got a front-facing camera as well, which is actually a pretty decent front-facing camera. But 5 megapixels here, which was kind of interesting because, as I said in the international version, the review, I was kind of like, why did they put a 5 megapixel shooter in this when they could have done 8? Now, there are some great features to this, granted, but let's take a look. Let me find something like, let's see. I was over at the Ritz-Carlton earlier today because I stopped into Pete's Coffee and got a cup of coffee. So I'll take a picture of the napkin here so we can get a look at some of the text here. And one thing I really like about this camera, the instant shutter effect. Take a look at this. Once it's focused in, bam, 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 bam. Very easy to take pictures, and of course they all show up right here, and then when I click on it I can access the gallery if I want to, and there are the pictures. So you can see kind of a fade out to me. It's not anywhere near, and this is just an unofficial on-screen test, nowhere near the quality that you see from some of the HTC 8 megapixel shooters, even the Galaxy S2 line, which has an 8 megapixel camera, or the iPhone 4S, which also has an 8 megapixel camera. But it does a pretty decent job, provided that it's well lit. I've got some light shining down right now, and of course the lights in the office are a little bit brighter, but you can see, pretty easy to read. But again, you get in a low lit situation, it's going to be a quick shutter, but you're going to have trouble getting a decent or a non-blurry picture. So let's jump back here and take a look at some of the settings. So you can see, you can change the flash, you can change the white balance. I can come down here and change some camera settings as well. And I'm going to go down here, picture size, whoops, my bad, and then go 5 megapixels because I don't want to change that. But you can see here the option to zoom in as well, and I can focus in on that. Let's take a look up close. Still a little bit grainy, but of course you can switch over to the front-facing camera pretty easily, and you can switch over to the video as well. 1080p HD video recording on this bad boy. I didn't do a sample on this one, but you can take a look at the unlocked version, which should be nearly identical, if not completely identical. Now take a look at this as well, the Gmail application, because they made some dramatic changes to this, and if you're an email junkie like I am, this is hugely important. So apparently I just joined Google Plus during the break here with the Old Man McTweety account, but I'm not using it. But you get the idea. If I have more than one account, I can click right here and see all the different accounts that I have. It shows that I have one new email, but you can see a lot of changes here as well. Refresh, I can search, I can do a new message, and then of course I can get in here. So let's take a look at Google Music, for example. And we'll load this up. You can see the header with the banner and the picture as well stays at the top just like normal, along with the subject of the email. And then from here I can either mark it as a favorite, I can mark it as read, or not as read, I'm sorry, reply or forward. And then I can come over here and hit reply all or forward as well, outside of the typical just reply. So you can see here, down here, same thing as well. You got some options to mark as read. I can trash it, and I can come down here and see some additional options in the settings. Now it's kind of interesting, and it's very inconsistent across Ice Cream Sandwich right now. For example, take a look at this right here. You can see the the menu button, or the right click button as I like to call it, is right there. But then when you go into something like speed test, for example, which is where we're headed anyway, you can see that it pops down here with the on-screen button. So it's very inconsistent. It's kind of on an application-by-application basis right now, but you can see those as well down there. So let's take a look at speed tests, and you can see from my settings so far, it's been pretty decent. I've seen speed. Verizon promises 5 to 12 megabits per second. I've seen some fast ones as well. I have a Verizon cell site right outside the window, but we can take a look here and get an idea as to what you can expect from the Galaxy Nexus. So just as a rough estimate, download speeds have been fantastic. They're running really fast right now, 30 megabits per second. That's definitely the fastest I've ever seen since I've had the Verizon version. Then upload speeds, we're looking at about 10 megabits per second. That's pretty impressive, 30 megabits per second and 10. Let's do another one, just to make sure that wasn't an anomaly. Let's see. I was running about 26, 27 megabits per second. Very impressive on the speed test front. Granted, like I said, the cell site's right out there, but still, I've never seen speeds that fast. The fastest I've seen with the cell site being out there, 20, 23, 22, still fast. I guess I did see a 26 at some point, but 30, that's impressive to say the least. Now let's take a look at or quadrant standard rather. And quadrant standard, keep in mind, I don't think it's optimized for ice cream sandwich just yet, but we can take a look. This is always fun to do and kind of compare, but don't take it with a grain of salt. It's not indicative of day-to-day performance, and while it's running, I'm going to talk a little bit about the earpiece. The earpiece has been fantastic. One thing that I really love about this phone, in fact, it's probably the best I've tested in 2011, the noise cancellation. I mean, this thing has got killer noise cancellation. I kid you not, I had 2 or 3 people when I was on the phone say, "Where are you? It's incredibly quiet. Are you actually talking on a cell phone, or are you on a landline?" So, and they know I don't have a landline, so it's kind of a rhetorical question, but still, noise cancellation, fantastic. Actual audio quality, fantastic. Speakerphone, I guess, could be a little bit better, but I'm not using it in the grocery store at full volume, so that doesn't matter too much to me, but speakerphone could be a little better. 1,850 milliamp hour battery. One thing I've been impressed with, it's right on par with most other LTE handsets, but one thing I have been impressed with, the standby time is pretty impressive on this thing. I left it overnight without charging, and it only dropped about, if I remember right, about 12 percentage points, which isn't bad for 4G LTE. So we can see, we'll load it up right now. And that 1,472. So 1,472, definitely not indicative of the speed of this device. And like I said, I don't think the program is optimized for ice cream sandwich just yet. So keep that in mind. I don't think it's quite up to par there. All in all, some nice improvements in ice cream sandwich. I've been really impressed with it. Let's take a look at YouTube as well, so you can see that. I'm going to come in here and have a look at the way it looks now. So we're going to go to Phone Dog. We'll start up some of these videos. So we'll do. How about not the iOS 5 walkthrough? Let's go through and take a look at a recent video. Oh, hey, look, a new dog pound. We'll take a look at this one. Say what? And so you can see, of course, transition effects seem kind of laggy there as well. But you have the option to share, the option to search, and then the option to use the menu button as well. And you'll notice that both those buttons. She's always funny. The stuff up top and also the on-screen buttons go away. The stuff that goes away, as you notice, when I hit play or pause, and then I go back, and you'll see it goes away again. So you get, a full screen, full 4.65-inch display, pretty impressive there as well. And you'll see some changes to the overall YouTube application. So that's a neat feature as well, and I've been really impressed with it. So let's go back through, and I want to show you a couple other things here before we sign off. Let me find what I was looking for. And let's see here. Oops, I already have some Google Plus stuff. New photos added. I don't really know which photos. Oh, instant upload. I think I just uploaded a bunch of pictures from the actual device itself. My bad. And so you can see here, we'll go to Google Music as well, which, they're really pushing Google Music and Google Plus. And I can come in here and hit OK. And you can see some of my different music here. Booty Work, One Cheek at a Time, Bobby Brown. Anyway, get an idea as to my music tastes on the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. I'll just leave it right there and let you figure out the rest of the songs. But a lot of 80s music, a lot of current music. Hey, I run a lot, so I got to have some upbeat rap stuff. So let's take a look at the market as well, because there have been some changes here. And we'll go back into market and take a look. So now your market kind of serves as your one-stop shop. You have apps, you have music, you have books, and you have movies. And from here you'll see they're color-coded. So when I go into music, for example, the shopping bag changes to orange. It'll be green if I do apps. It'll be blue if I do books, and red, of course, if I do movies. But you can shop all this stuff from the Android market and easily access it. So we can go into the apps here and go to Top Free, for example, and see how they're kind of organized in a square layout. So we can go to Facebook for Android, for example, and see it load up. So we've got some screenshots here. You have the application name, the install button, and again, search, share, and then your menu button up top. And I can scroll down through here and see description, what's new, reviews, with a convenient little star meter there that shows all the average reviews. Users also install what they viewed, and then market content. So pretty quick and easy to use, and of course landscape mode works as well, though again the transition effects are a little bit laggy, so that's kind of, you see it takes quite some time to switch to transition effects. So all in all, a good phone. It's a nice addition to Verizon's lineup. So you got this, you have the HTC Resound, and you have the Motorola Droid Razr on Verizon's holiday lineup. So a lot of choices to choose from for the end of 2011. Is the Galaxy Nexus the best Android phone? That's up to you. It depends on what you use it for. If you're an Android purist, you want the latest and the greatest in terms of ice cream sandwich, this is going to be your device. It still shows some lag every now and again. I think the Motorola Droid Razr is overall a faster device, but if you want Android 4.0, you want that big display, you want the curved body, I'd say go with the Galaxy Nexus. It's a good device with very few things besides the transition effects and besides the occasional lag. It's a decent device that I think you'd be really happy with. Much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com of the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. Keep it locked on the site. Like us on Facebook because, hey, we're always on there. We're talking to you. We're keeping you updated with the latest mobile news. Check it out at Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Hey, be sure to follow me on Twitter as well. Let me know what you think of this. A lot of people are on Twitter talking to me right now saying, I like the Droid Razr more, or I like the Galaxy Nexus more. While you're waiting for that dogfight, be sure to let me know which one you like more at PhoneDog_Aaron on Twitter and on Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Thanks so much for watching. Keep it locked for more coverage of the Samsung Galaxy Nexus 4G LTE version on Verizon Wireless. We'll see you next time.